So this is a more of my thoughts video rather than a review. I think I said in another review that my reviews aren't really reviews so much as kind of like my thoughts after watching something. So I'm thinking about changing the title from like anime review and playlist like anime reviews to like thoughts or something. But I also don't like that name either. So if you have any suggestions, I appreciate it. Sorry, my nose itched. And sorry about that visual, but like you're just do something and be like, oh well, someone saw that. I could just start over, but I don't want to. Either way, I'm sorry. Anyway, so I just finished last night and started another anime. I finally finished watching Arifureta from Commonplace to World's Strongest. Now, if you're looking for a review that kind of breaks down everything good and bad and how it relates to other anime, what they did right, what they probably didn't have much of a budget for and kind of skimped out on, then I would suggest watching Giguk's video. He does much, much better reviews. Both him and Mother's Basement, I mentioned multiple times. I've subscribed to both of them. I really love them. I could just listen to them drone on and on about anime that I've seen, that I haven't seen. So, if you're well, I'd kind of be more surprised if you watch my videos rather than them, since they have drastically higher sub counts and more videos, and just they've been doing it longer. So it'd be weirder to find me than not be subscribed to them already, or have seen a review by them already. Anyway, so go to the search bar, and I believe his name, screen name, username, whatever the fuck you want to call it, is spelled. What is it? I have to visualize stuff. Visual thinker. I think it's like GIGGUK. I probably fucked that up. Anyway, so definitely subscribe to that. He does a much better breakdown of this. He's actually kind of the reason why, along with some like clips that YouTube was like recommending me from the show, that I watched the show anyway. Now, this show is not the greatest. It is very try-hardy. Like, it's trying too hard to be cool. Like, kind of reminds me of that and, like, teen angst. But okay, I don't know how to describe it. Okay, so it's... If you like shows like Wise Man's Grandchild, In the World with My Smartphone, Death March to Poe, Rhapsody. I know I always mention those three. But if you like shows like that, where they're kind of like the mediocre, like the light novel anime, the light novel anime versions that kind of like get churned out and out to kind of like saturate the genre of the whole isekai thing, which is being transported to another world, then you might like it. But it kind of combines that, and then it tries to be edgy. I enjoyed it. I've had a whole bunch spoiled for me because I watched so many clips because I could not find a place to actually watch it, because like I talked in I think review I just recorded the other day that like I didn't know we had Hulu or a Hulu subscription, and that was weird. Sorry, I had to like swallow saliva and intake a breath. So I was like, I don't know, it's weird lizard face shit. I'm sorry. Come to my videos for the weird faces. Oh god, I've actually looked at my thumbnails. I don't add them like a lot of people, like they can put like whatever image they want. I don't know how to do that, so it just auto does it, and they're not flattering faces in the least. I don't think I found one that did not make me go, oh fuck, that's on the internet now. Anyway, so where's it going? But yeah, like I didn't know I had Hulu, so I finally watched it because now I know we have Hulu and they have it on Hulu. They have a bunch of shows that I wanted to watch that are on Hulu. Malice Summer Retry, which is what I'm watching now. Arifureta, One Punch Man Season 1 and 2. Cautious Hero, which I never knew the fucking name for it. I just know that the character was a cautious hero. I didn't know it was called that. And was it Bufiri? Something about like, oh, was it some chick and she's like, I don't want to get hurt. Or the title is called, I don't want to get hurt, so I'm leveling up my defense skills or something like that. I don't know. But like those shows are all like there. So I'm like, yes. All the shows that are mediocre probably that I want to watch. That are like nowhere else unless I go to sites that don't officially have the right to show them. So I'm happy about that. Anyway, so what I meant by teen angsty, like it kind of reminds me of like that bottled teen angst edginess combined with like fuck. I had a thought and then I stopped thinking for a moment and then the thought went away. Oh, Chinibyo. Like it kind of reminds me of like Chinibyo syndrome with some teen angst and mom, it's not a phase. Like it kind of reminds me of that. I don't know. Like I said, I did enjoy it. But basically the show is, by the way, you better watch the opening because you know how most isekai you actually see them get isekai'd to the world? Yeah, unless you're watching the fucking opening, you're not going to see that. Just boom, they're in another world. And there's no like magic circle, no, we just got here. Like, no, it's, they're just doing shit already in the kingdom, and you're just like, what? This is an isekai, right? Where the fuck is the isekaiing? What is going on? Like, they kind of say briefly, we want to get back home, and then they show a shot of them in, like, Japanese school uniforms. And in the screen, they're in a classroom, and there's, like, a magic circle and a flash of light. It's, like, literally a picture. And, like, they kind of do, like, weird visuals with it, but it's not actually, like, moving. It's, like, they're kind of moving the screen. I don't know how to describe what they're doing. So, yeah, aside from that, you don't get to see them transport to another world or whatever the fuck. It looks like they're doing some weird summoning a circle bullshitty stuff. Like, let's try to summon something. Like, it looks like they were trying to do that. Because you see something on the ground, there's a magic circle. I don't know if it just appeared or if they were fucking drawing a circle or it worked. I don't know. I guess, I think it says in his thing that if you actually read the light novel, they do go into more detail there. They just, for whatever reason, don't put most of that in the anime. I haven't read the light novel or manga or whatever the fuck it is. I think it's light novel. And, I do want to. Anyway. So, sorry, I had an itch. I have horrible quarantine hair, like we all do. So my hair is usually horrible to begin with, so whatever. But it's basically the main character is, of course, generic protagonist motherfucker Kun. I say that because they all look the same. Like, if I could tell you just, oh, it's a male protagonist, you probably have a good guess what this fucker looks like. Like, if you line them all up, very few look different enough. Like, do you understand? They all look like they came from a factory. With slight deviations. Like, it kind of reminds me of, like, those shitty options you get in, like, character creation games. Where, like, we have character creation, you're like, you have 3 faces, asshole. That's not much customization, you might as well just not have put it there. Like, it kind of reminds me of that. Anyway, so, he's our main character, and I guess they all have, like, powers or jobs or fucking skills. I don't know what. It's like some skill status plate thing they say. And anyway, yeah, I guess he's a synergist. Sorry, I looked up my sister just text messaged. I was doing that because my sister text messages me she texted me and turned it up on the screen while I was filming, so I looked. I don't think filming is the right word here. I don't like the word vlogging either. Son of a bitch. Anyway, so, generic motherfucker Kun. As a synergist, I guess is his thing, and then, like, you have a character as a hero, and, like, some priest chick, and I don't know where the fuck the others are. I don't care. They don't really say. He just briefly says, well, I'm a synergist. I'm like, okay, what's that mean? Something about combining shit. I don't know. Anyway. So we see him get knocked off a bridge into the abyss. They're like in a labyrinth dungeon type thingy, and he stalls for them to get out because an enemy shows up, but they can't. What is they're in the thing, and then dumb motherfucker rival Kun decides he likes Priest Girl, so he wants and doesn't. Okay, so basically, the bully character essentially touches a crystal because he wants to give it to Priest Chick, and it turns out to be he touches it and it's a trap. So then they get teleported to like the 65th floor of the dungeon, and monsters show up and they can't do anything about it, so they're trying to get out, and they're kind of closing in. So protagonist Kun decides to kind of like temporarily stall them because his ability is transmute, and it's like weird like rock pebble piles. Like it's not boulders, it's like literally looks like a bunch of small like hand-sized rocks in a giant pile kind of show up with really shitty CGI-ness. By the way, that is the defining feature of the show, is it's horrible fucking CGI. How bad is it? Okay, so the third season of Overlord, there is a moment, slightly spoiler, where an army of goblins is summoned, and it is one CGI, which is not very good. Not horrible, but not good. Shows up, and that motherfucker's been pasted literally about 1,000 times. And they are marching really slow, and it does not look good. It looks fantastic compared to the awkwardness of the CGI here. It's not just bad, like it's awkward looking. Like, I hate it. It looks like really bad cell shading. Like, one of my favorite games is Jet Set Radio Future, and I love the cell shading style there. So when I see cell shading, I'm like, oh yeah, Jet Set, and it's like nostalgic for me. And so I like it. Like, it kind of looks like that, but horrible. Now, the reason why I say cell shaded, I don't know everything about the style, obviously. I only know, like, that is what Jet Set was called. The art style was called cell shaded. And it's kind of like this cartoony feel to it, but it kind of feels like there's like a bold italics look to it, but like a picture. I don't know. It's really cool. But like, oh god, the CGI is so fucking horrible in this show. None of it really looks good, but I think the worst of it that made me just go, ugh, was the dragon. Was Dragon Chick. Oh god, her fucking dragon form is horrendous. Cute waifu form. Yes, please. But just... And it's not just that it looks better, there's a moment where she's talking and it's literally like... And there's a moment where her tongue's sticking out, so it's like... It looks fucking stupid. It's so ridiculous, it's so bad. Anyway, like... So he falls into the dungeon because the first CGI nightmare shows up and he falls into the abyss. We learn that someone, he'd just fall or something. It's someone aimed at him on purpose. Because in order to take things out, they do like a barrage of like magic, bullety, blasty thingies. I know, wonderful at my descriptions too, huh? And you think one like maybe ricochets or someone misaimed or you panicked and aimed wrong or something, but no, someone actually targeted him. Knock him off the bridge. It's pretty fucking obvious who did it. And other than that, we don't know much about the main character. Just that quite clearly he was bullied and he just... And obviously Priest Chick likes him probably. And Bully-kun doesn't like that, so I'm guessing, spoiler, he was the one that knocked him off the bridge. Like, it's so obvious they don't even really bother to hide it. That's not much of a spoiler. Because you're always like, are you trying to hide it? We know who the fuck it was. There's no point in being mysterious. You might as well just show his face. They did it like partially blacking out the face thing, but like there's enough things that you can figure out. Like, I think you actually see a little bit of the fuzzy collar. And who do we know who's a classmate that has the fuzzy collar? Oh, this asshole who's a bully. And the only person that's, like, kind of bullying him. I mean, I guess there are, like, other people that bully him. But, like, there's that one character that just bullies him constantly. And obviously shows interest in the priest chick. And you actually see him in scenes get, ugh, like that or something like that. Like, well, more like the scowling, gritting your teeth bullshit, really. So it's pretty obvious. Oh, he likes her. He doesn't like that she likes him. To he get rid of him. Like it's really obvious. So I'm sorry if that spoiled it, but like you would have to be so fucking blind to not have figured that out already. Like, so I'm sorry for spoiling, but at the same time, it's so obvious. I don't think it's spoiling. Anyway, so yeah. And to answer my question, no, we don't get to see him getting his ass kicked. Here's hoping if there's a season 2, we will. But, it is also a harem anime. I mean, I would call it that, but he also actively shows interest in one person, who is our first girl, Yue. She is adorable, lolly vampire chan. She's like 320-something years old. Anyway, he finds her at the bottom of the dungeon. But before any of that, he, I guess, sent down to the dungeon. If I was going to warn you about anything, he does get his arm sliced off and then gets to watch it be eaten in front of him and later loses his eye. Though none of that is as horrifying as the dragon scene where you actually see something getting shoved up her anus. They draw the anus. Thankfully, they do not draw the insides of said anus. They just show the hole and something going in there. That is the worst. That combined with the horrible CGI and the really awkward, admittedly somewhat good voice acting. It's shudder-inducing, really. Like, if you pause on the screen when because some of the classmates are watching this happen, just the look of abject horror and confusion on their faces just fits it perfectly. Because I'm pretty sure very few shows can get me to, like, make a face. And I literally went, like, I shit you not. Something along those, like, oh. Like, it made me do that. As well as laugh because of how stupid, ridiculously try-hardy. Why did you put that in there? I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, basically the show is him getting knocked into the thing, down into the bottom levels of the abyss. We don't know what level he was knocked down into. But below the 65th floor, obviously, because that's where the bridge was and the monster and all of them and where he fell from. And we know there's at least 100 floors of this dungeon, or labyrinth. It's called labyrinth, sorry. But it reminds me of like dungeon crawling. And he runs into some monsters there. First, he runs into Rabbit, creepy looking motherfucker. And right before Rabbit motherfucker tries to kill him, to eat him, a weird white bear shows up and kills the rabbit. And while he's trying to get away, the bear sees him because, of course, he screams and runs off as loudly as possible. And, of course, I guess the bear finished eating because it was like, oh, let's go after this dude right now. And, yeah, he gets his arm sliced off by the claws, and then the bear eats his arm in front of him, and he freaks out, and he manages to use his transmute ability to get a hole and, like, hide in a hole and keep putting up layers and layers of the thing until eventually the bear can't get him. And, he gets to a point where he starts to starve down there, so he kind of just starts doing the why this happened to me thing, and then he realizes someone knocked him in there, what the fuck did I do to deserve this, that kind of thing. And it kind of also reminds me of, like, what they did with Naofumi from Shield Hero, where he was kind of like this nice, somewhat he was more optimistic, Naofumi was, and then something happened to him, and then he started to drastically change in personality. It kind of reminds me of that, but not as good. I don't know how to describe it. Like, they did a much better job with Naofumi, and Shield Hero, much better job. But it kind of reminded me of that turning into an anti-hero kind of a thing. And so, of course, he really quickly starts losing his mind. Or, well, not lose his mind. Well, he starts starving, and then he decides to basically, I'm gonna go home, and if anyone gets in my way, I'm gonna kill them. Like, real quick, try-hardy edgelord stuff. They actually do call him an edgelord. Someone does call him an edgelord in the show later on. It was kind of... I knew the joke was coming. It still made me laugh. And, so yeah, he has that drastic change in personality, and... What is it? He, like, tries to catch some electric wolf type thingies because he needs to eat something, obviously. But I guess there's this thing, like a rumor or something, that if you eat monster meat, you'll die. And sure enough, he manages to kill said things while bitching at them, which is great. Where they're howling, and then the thing, he's like stabbing with a spear. He's like, "Shut up, I need to eat!" And he's like so ridiculously over the top. And he starts eating monster meat, and of course, for whatever reason, he almost dies, but doesn't. Instead, his hair turns white and his eyes turn red. And he finds out that if you eat monster meat, if it doesn't kill you, you can get some of the powers, or some of the abilities these monsters have. Okay. So, I thought I heard something. It was my mom or whatever, someone going to the bathroom. Anyway, like hearing them walk down the hallway and like open the door type of thing. I'm literally right next to the bathroom. So and we have paper thin walls, so I can pretty much hear anything. It's lovely. You didn't even know that? I'm sorry. Anyway, getting back on track. So yeah, if you eat monsters, you can get some of their skills, their abilities, that kind of thing, and he basically just keeps doing that throughout the series and getting more abilities, and then using his abilities to combine with his transmute ability to invent shit, and then he kind of has these guns later on that he invents, and after that he goes and meets Yui and rescues her because she was sealed at the bottom of the fucking labyrinth. Turns out she's a vampire princess. He's like 300 years old. Well, it's 320 because I guess she was like 20 something, and then 300 years have passed and she's been in the fucking dungeon, labyrinth, whatever the fuck it was. So they break out together, learn about the Mavericks, and a little bit more about the world, and they take the technology there, and they stay there for a couple months and learn some stuff, and then they go back to this, they break out, well, instead of like, he gets to a point where he's like, okay, I want to go back up, but I can't, it might just be faster to go down than to go up. Because he fell from the 65th floor, and there are 100 floors, so it would just make more sense to go down than to try and battle your way up. It's a vacuum. I was like, is someone using a fucking hairdryer? When was the last time I saw a hairdryer? Years ago? I don't even know if the one we have works. Anyway, so, yeah, him and Yui kind of bond, and obviously they form a romance. And throughout the series, he does get more girls kind of like added to the harem, but he's pretty fucking not interested in any of them. Like, he actively says, he does get confessed to, and he actively says, I only like Yui. Fuck off, I only like Yui. So we get her at first, and then we get the useless bunny chick, who is... I'm glad they don't sexualize Yui, which is nice to actually see... Like, there's a scene where, like, some of her clothes get ripped off, but the nice thing is, now it shows they'll, like, rip off the clothes, like, everything comes off, like a bad hentai. But this one, like, you only see small shreds of, like, her clothes, just to show that some of it did get shredded off, but, like, it's not showing anything. You'll see her boobs or her ass or anything like that. She's still fucking covered. Which is nice. Because I'm tired of that cliche. That somehow you are unscathed except your clothes were like fried off. Come on now. You're telling me the acid did not get your skin, but your clothes? Come on now. Anyway. So that was a random little tangent there, which is a feature of my videos. And, so by the way up, we get Useless Bunny Chick, she's basically the fan service chick, let's be honest. I mean, she's just kind of adorable in the way she looks, and she does kind of grow on you, at least she did for me. I still preferred her, Yue and Hajime, obviously. And then we get the dragon chick, who is just there to be creepy and perverted. And then we get the adorable Little Mermaid girl, who, thank God, is not like a part of the harem. At least in the anime, she's not part of the harem. I haven't read the novel or whatever, so I don't know if she's added later. I hope not. But she's more like a daughter, a little sister type thing, which I'm okay with. Like, them actually like raising her like that, I'm okay with. I think it's adorable to have her cute little dish, and I like her. And like Hajime's her, she calls him Pop. Well, she calls him Big Brother at first, and he's like, "Can you call me something else?" And she's like, "Okay, I'll call you Papa." And he's like, "No, wait, don't." And then she just keeps going with it. He's like, just keeps up at some point. So like him and Yue kind of like mommy him, and there's this moment where it's like right after they kind of run into her is Shay, who's the bunny chick, or was it she or Shay? I think it's Shay. It's Shea. Shea. Bunny chick is her, and then I think Tio is dragon chick, and then we have Mew, who is Myu, and Yue is obviously Yue. And you know, as you know. Yeah. So yeah, we get dragon chick, then we get the Little Mermaid girl, who kind of becomes like a daughter or like a little sister to them, and it's really cute to see a moment with, because Hajime's with Shay at the time when he runs into her, the Little Mermaid girl, and there's this kind of like cute moment where she's not like trying to kill him for once, and she's like just like taking care of him, like kind of helps her in the bath and like just drying her hair, and he's blow drying her hair. It's like this little cute little moment. Anyway, so the rest of the show is kind of like him trying to find a way home and take these girls with him because they decided to go with him. So they're kind of like his family now. And they're going to go back to his world, I guess. And anyone who gets in the way is an enemy, and he'll kill his enemies, essentially. And that's basically the show. And we do get another chick later on. We do get Priest chick. She does admit she likes him. And he just openly says, "I like you." Or, no, he says, "I already love someone else." She goes, "Is it you?" And he goes, "Yes." So, it's also nice. Well, it is kind of like try-hardy, and I can understand it being common. We considered, like, a very meh anime. I did like it. I do want another season. It's kind of a so bad it's good sometimes type of thing. But it's, the best way I can put it is it's kind of like one of those mediocre light novel animes that have been coming out. Like I said, like Death March to Pillow Rhapsody, Mouse Retry, just like kind of those generic ones. Wise Man's Grandchild, combined with some Chinibyo edgelording that makes you cringe, and some horrible CGI that will make you laugh. And it's fun. Like I said, if you want like a breakdown of like what they did right, or what they did well, what they did badly, compared to like other anime and a more technical look at it, go watch Geekuk's video. It's much better than mine. This is just kind of like a casual anime fangirl saying her thoughts on the thing. As I said at the start of this video, right now I'm watching Mausama Retry. Is that what it's called? Demon Lord Retry, Mausama Retry, whatever you want to call it. And I'm on episode... What episode am I on right now, actually? Hold on. Oh, stop that. Oh, fuck. I can't see. I need glasses. I think it's like episode 5. 5 or 6? I don't know. Anyway, so I can't really suggest watching it or not watching it. It's really like if you like shows like Wise Man Grandchild and you kind of don't mind cringy shit or overly chinibyo shit, then give it a try. I enjoyed it. Maybe you will, maybe you won't. I don't know what to say about it. And I'm going to go back to watching other anime. So, bye-bye.